And that would be us. That would be a cell phone going off live on the air here on Brookdale Public Radio 90.5. The night, it's a couple of minutes in front of 2 o'clock, and I'm real happy to have in the studio Finlay Morton, whose album we've been playing the heck out of for like, I don't know, the last 6 months or something like that. So welcome in here. Thank you so much. And you brought along your guitar player, Greg Bone, here as well. We didn't give Greg a microphone, so he's stuck with just waving. So look into the speakers. You'll be able to wave back at Greg while he's here. Anyhow, welcome to 90.5 tonight.
Thank you.
There's so much to ask you about, so much fun stuff to talk about. And I guess I'll start from what I found to be one of the more interesting things when I was looking up what you do, or what you've done. You were the sound engineer for 10 Downing Street.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
It means I spent 10 years on the road with Tony Blair. Mm-hmm. So I would make sure that his speeches got recorded properly, and all the sound systems wherever we were working. And I'd also do the inward visits. So when U.S. presidents, we had Clinton and Bush and Obama. I've all been responsible for the press conference sound on those.
That's how does one get that job? Like how do you go from Aberdeen, Scotland, to being the sound engineer for the Prime Minister of England?
Well, it was kind of luck, really. I ended up working for one of the government departments that was doing that kind of job, and eventually got transferred into Downing Street. So it was kind of cool.
Sounds like an interesting way to make a living. You must have been looking over the last week's worth of news coming out of your homeland, out of a little bit of interest with the way they kind of did that.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. The famous shot with the new guy David Cameron on his arrival shots. Those are my microphones. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When you get back, you're done with that now? That's not something that's in your past, or are you going to go back over there when you're finished off the road here? And
well, I still have some involvement in it, but music's my kind of main focus now. So.
Well, we're thankful for that, because this is much more entertaining than a speech from David Cameron or any of the other folks that are over there. This album, you had, as you were recording it, you had a very major medical scare happen in there.
Yeah, we were halfway through the kind of monitor mixing stage, and I woke up one morning and realized I was having a heart attack. So I had to dial the emergency services and get blue lighted into hospital. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess I would add a little something, because I was looking over the song titles and I realized the heart attack occurred at the end of the recording process.
Yeah.
But there were certain titles that you might actually think of that were written after that heart attack. Something like The Devil Ain't Getting My Soul or Scary Monsters. I mean, stuff like that. Kind of prophetic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, could be, yeah. Maybe you've discovered a spooky connection there.
There you go.
Not quite sure.
Or I could just be reading far too much into it because I read too many ghost stories. But speaking of Scary Monsters, you were going to this is your first single that you released over in England off this particular album, and you're going to play it for us live.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of the acoustic version with just a couple of guitars, so it doesn't have the big album production. But this is the first track off Back to Basics. Reflective green paves the way for my intentions to the places where the water flows. What does it mean, requiring more investigation? What the answer is, nobody knows. Selfish whispers pass me by on my way back home. Childish mischief makes me cry. Don't wanna be alone. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. deceptive sheen slowly slithers through the darkness in the caves where no one ever goes. It's quite obscene down the pathways through the alleys. People hear it on their radios. Selfish whispers pass me by on my way back home. Childish mischief makes me cry. Don't wanna be alone. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah. Scary monsters, they're coming to get me, yeah.
It's never too early to start reading to your kids.
Are you prepared for what awaits you?
There are amazing possibilities when you open a child's mind to reading. Log on to the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
When you fill someone's life with hope, you wind up adding a little more to your own. Help America's youth. Be a friend. Be a mentor. Just be there.
Go to bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Live in the studio here at Brookdale Public Radio, 90.5, the night, Finlay, Morton, and Greg Bone together. And later on this evening, along with Sharif, you guys are going to be over at Espresso Joe's on West Front Street in Keyport for a free show. So it's an outdoor gig, so it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it should be great. Hope the weather holds up.
The weather will hold up nicely, and you'll have lots of coffee, so it'll be gret.
Cool.
That'll work. I love that version of that song. I mean, on the album, like you said, there's a lot more instrumentation to it, but as a stripped-down acoustic version, that's really cool.
Thank you.
That's some great stuff. Now, one of the things I was going to ask you also was you came from an area in Scotland which is better known or pretty well known for the fact that it's a major port. It's a big fishing capital and all that kind of stuff. Did you ever entertain the idea of working on the rigs or going out fishing, or did you always?
I did. I did about 6 weeks on the oil rigs as a steward, kind of making beds and cleaning floors. And it's the most money I ever earned in 6 weeks in my life.
But is it worth it? Because, I mean, that must just be a horrible thing to experience, being out in the North Sea. It's not nice,
and that's why you get paid a lot of money for it.
I think being a musician's a lot nicer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not as much money, but better working conditions, at least most of the time.
And at least I don't have to take a helicopter to work.
That's true, unless you're a famous star, which that'll
true.
be all right, right? So now that you'll be going around doing these shows for stations like us, and you'll be back around again towards the end of the year.
Yeah, towards the end of the year, we're looking at the logistics of bringing the whole band over, which would be kind of cool because it would be a 6-piece.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So,
I'm looking forward to hearing the whole ensemble. Are you going to be able to grab Greg, or is Greg going to be still out?
Yeah, no, Greg's. If Greg's not available, we don't play.
Okay, nice, good plan.
Yeah.
So one of the other questions I wanted, you were the guy that kind of, I don't want to say discovered you because you were out doing this for years and years, but the guy who was behind the Moody Blues and Status Quo, Pip, was the guy who got your first record, I guess, right?
Yeah, Pip. I was introduced to Pip by a friend of mine in London. Pip Williams is the guy's name, and he did. His most famous records were "Rockin' All Over the World" by Status Quo. He did most of the Moody Blues stuff. He worked with Elton John and Kiki D. I mean, he's done
a lot of
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
So to have somebody of his stature in your corner, that's got to help out quite a bit.
Oh, sure. And you know, it's one of the great things about music is that you never stop learning, and if you can learn from guys like that, it makes a huge difference.
Now, is that first album of yours available? Can people pick it up if they go on your website, or?
Yeah, they can go to the website, which is finlaymorton.com. It's also out there on iTunes and Amazon, so you can download it too.
Great.
This is fine. Thanks.
When you fill someone's life with hope, you wind up adding a little more to your own. Help America's youth. Be a friend. Be a mentor. Just be there.
Go to bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Get in my soul. The devil, he ain't getting my soul.
That is music from Finlay Morton off the Back to Basics album, and The Devil Ain't Getting My Soul on Brookdale Public Radio 90.5 tonight. And the first time I heard that, Finlay, I was wondering, boy, that sounds, I thought you might have been from New Orleans, from that whole area, because it just kind of sounded, you know, very, very much like it could have been down in the bayou kind of deal. And then I found out you're from Scotland. So did you spend any time in touring America at all before you did this album? Or?
No, not at all. But I mean, I was raised on the great American songwriters, Tom Petty, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, you know, Lil George, Little Feat, those guys. So that's kind of where my feelings come from.
You definitely hear a little Lowell George in that particular song, as far as like just you know, the chord progressions and things like that, which is very cool.
Yeah.
You know, really nice to have. Now, when you were this record, Back to Basics, I'm trying to. The guy from Santana, the producer of one of the guys involved with Carlos's music, heard your stuff when he was listening online to the BBC. Now, was he listening to Back to Basics, and then, or was he listening to the first album?
He was listening to the first version of Back to Basics that we'd put out to. We just kind of mixed it and we put it out to radio, and there was a couple of people picked up on it, and it got a couple of the tracks got some plays at like 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning when nobody's listening really. So,
in England, but in LA they were.
But in LA it was 9 o'clock at night. So so John called me up and said, "Hey, I kind of like your stuff, but I think it needs a remix." And after I got over being slightly offended by that, we sent him the master tapes.
Because you basically did everything yourself on this on this album. I mean, as far as producing it and everything, right?
Yeah.
So did you when you thought about it, the guy from Santana's telling you it needs to be remixed. Did you? How long did it take you to say, well, okay, I'll send it to you?
It was nearly a full second.
Yeah, I would think it would take probably that long. Maybe just take a deep breath and go, great, I'll send it to you right away.
Yeah. No, he's. I mean, when he sent us back, actually, The Devil was the first track that he remixed, and he sent me it, on a MP3 on an email. and I just couldn't believe it because it sounded like a different record.
Well, what did he do to it? What secrets can you tell?
Well, I mean, he upped the vocal by at least 20%.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of paranoid about whether or not I can sing because I don't have what you would call a classic voice.
Well, the funny thing is, though, all of the people that you spotlight as influences to you, though, aren't necessarily the ones that are known for having the best voices in rock and roll. I mean, no one's
that's true.
ever called Neil Young, and Pavarotti in the same breath, but at the same time.
Yeah. But you recognize him as soon as he starts singing. So, yeah.
The ones with more quality, are the ones like Tom Petty and Neil Young, and now Finlay Morton. So that's nice company to be in.
Boy, that's nice to be mentioned in the same sentence as those guys.
So you're going to be working on some new music. In fact, in a little while, you're actually going to give us a sneak preview. When you come up with the new album, and you've got your band and all that, is John from, what's John's last name?
John Ryan.
Ryan. Is he going to be involved in this project at all, or is he?
Yeah, he's already booked.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this will be fun.
Yeah.
When are you planning on hitting the studio?
Probably in the next couple of months, actually, because we're kind of committed to coming back out here towards the end of October. So it would be nice to maybe have at least a couple of tracks ready so that we can give people a nice preview as well.
Usually during the summers when there's a lot of festivals and things like that in England and the area. Are you booked for any of those at all? Are you going to be doing any shows in England over the summer?
We're not booked yet, but we're these kind of things, until you get some exposure, that they're very slow to kind of pencil you in. So we're talking to a whole bunch of people.
Is the record industry over there the same as over here? It's like, if you're involved with a major label, there's a little bit more weight behind you than if you're out on your own as an indie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you're out on your own over there for the most part, right?
Yeah, I'm out on my own everywhere. So yeah. So it's a self-funded project, but it's it's okay. We're doing okay. We're almost at the end of the bank balance, but we're getting there.
A little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, a bit left in the tank. There's enough left in the tank to do a nice tour.
That's good. Thankfully.
Friends can provide the support you need to reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Eat right and get active.
And for those of you just tuning in, first of all, your timing's pretty darn good. Secondly, later on tonight, Finlay Morton, along with Greg, his guitar player, co-guitar player, and Sharif will be over at Espresso Joe's, which is on West Front Street in Keyport for a free show about 7 o'clock. We're going to give some food away and all that kind of good stuff so people can go and have some great coffee and some good food and some great entertainment, all for free on a beautiful day like this. Not too bad. One of the things I wanted to ask you, is this your first time around America? Is this your first tour?
It's we did a tour West Coast and up in the Rocky Mountains in November, which was kind of interesting. We were about 24 hours ahead of that big snow dump that was that landed up there in November. So we just managed to outrun the storm.
Excuse me for being incredibly stupid, but I'm good at it. In Scotland, where you're from, there are a lot of mountains and stuff. Do you guys get a lot of snow up there?
A lot of snow, but not anything like 5 feet.
Yeah, you get. I used to live out there in the Rockies out in that area, and you get used to it after a while, but you don't necessarily like it.
In London, when one snowflake falls, the entire place stops.
I was actually in Atlanta, Georgia, one time during a snowstorm, and that they had no idea what was happening. They were pretty sure it was the end of the world. It was some kind of a biblical sign that they were coming to an end over there. Well, while you're traveling around, seeing some of the places that you heard about, through the songs of American songwriters, are you coming up with ideas for new songs? Or, do you find it easy to write on the road, or do you have to wait till you get back home?
No, they just kind of pop into my head. I mean, I've got there's one that's going to come on the next album that came as a result of a conversation I had with a girl in Spokane in Washington, who was telling me about her life, which had been pretty nasty, to be honest. She'd been through 3 husbands or 3 lovers and loads of kids, and just was just trying to make ends meet. So that'll be one that'll appear on the next album. That's called True Love.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to hear the new album. Right now, you're going to play us a new song that I'm looking forward to hearing. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, well, this is a good example actually of something that the way I write songs. This was just something my girlfriend said to me one day. We were having a discussion about something or other, and she said, "Well, I'd rather be interesting than boring." So I thought, well, that makes that's a good first line for a song, and I'd rather be this than that kind of popped out. So this is one that's going to appear on the next album.
Great, can't wait to hear. What's the name?
Okay, this is called Rather Be.
Good.
Rather be interesting than boring. I'd rather be asleep if I am snoring. I'd rather be at home today than traveling. And I'd rather be together than unraveling. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. That wishes everything could be the way it used to be. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. I'd rather be, I'd rather be, I'd rather be. Rather be drunk today than sober. I'd rather it was happening than it's over. I'd rather catch the bus than have to walk it. And I'd rather break the door down than unlock it. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. Wishes everything could be the way it used to be. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. I'd rather be, I'd rather be, I'd rather be. All the things we would do if we were free to choose. We all make plans and understand sometimes you gotta lose. I'd rather be St. George than be the dragon. I'd rather have all 4 wheels on my wagon. I'd rather not be a shoulder to cry on. And I'd rather be a friend you can rely on. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. That wishes everything could be the way it used to be. Can't make up my mind if it's you or me. I'd rather be, I'd rather be, I'd rather be. Rather be, I'd rather be, I'd rather be. I'd rather be, I'd rather be, I'd rather be.
That's a world premiere, at least in this neck of the woods, for a new song that'll be on the next Finlay Morton album. Any working title yet for the album?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Are you going to have to give royalties to your girlfriend for that song?
I hope not.
Okay.
I'm just not going to tell her.
Okay, I won't tell her either if I see her. Listen, I want to say thanks so much for coming in, and everybody, you need to go over to Espresso Joe's tonight and check out the free show. And not only that, but you get to see Greg's guitar, which has got the most amazing mother of pearl neck on it, that headstock I've ever seen. That is gorgeous. So the show's later on tonight at 7:00. Back to Basics is available online at stores everywhere. Finlay, what's your website?
It's finlaymorton.com, FINLAYMORTON.
So make sure you check it out for future tour dates. You'll be coming back around in October with the full band.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see you guys playing again. It'll be a lot of fun. And tonight, 7:00 up at Espresso Joe's, West Front Street in Keyport for the free show. Finlay, thank you so much. Congratulations on all the good work. How's your health now after the heart attack? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm fit. I'm going for a jog now.
Okay, good. That's good. You go running. No more coffee and cigarettes, right? Just
Absolutely.
Okay, good. This is another track from the Back to Basics album. Finlay, thank you so much for coming in. I'll see you later on tonight.
Okay.